So this is the stamp set here. It is called Butterfly Wishes, and I do like this set because it's one of those that does all the work for you. So you can just literally stamp and go. Because it has a lot of inbuilt shading, it's one of our distinctive stamp sets. It makes life a lot easier and a lot quicker because you can literally just use one colour ink to stamp and you get inbuilt shading with it already. So this was the stamp set. I was very keen to use it. It was one of the first that I picked out from the new catalogue. And when I get a new catalogue, I do go through looking to see what works for coffee and card and what would work for classes. And this particular one shouted at me for coffee and card. And the reason for that is it's got multiple images, so more than one person can be stamping at any one time, which is ideal, so people aren't waiting forever for the stamp set to come round, unless they all want the same one, of course. So we have this beautiful butterfly here. We have this large and small butterfly, and those two butterflies actually match the butterfly punch, so you can punch both of those out if you wish. We have this branch here, and it could be a number of things. So it could be apple blossom, it could be forsythia if you did it in yellow. There's lots of different things that you can do with that. And all this shading, as you can see, is already done for you. And I'll show you some examples of that with different colours and how you can get different effects. We also have this side-on butterfly, a beautiful flower and a spare leaf, and as you can see the detail here, that's all done within the stamp itself. And then you've got 5 nice sentiments. You've got a welcome, birthday wishes, love to celebrate you, it was a perfect day because of you, and a sweet friendship refreshes the soul. So a really nice mixture. We made 2 projects last week. One was a card and one was a bookmark. So I'll just show you some of those. So here are some of the cards. So in this one I've just stamped the branch in a single colour, that's Early Espresso. And then I've stamped the butterflies in a single colour. But you can see the effect that you get because these butterflies have got shading built in, even though I only literally inked them up once. And I've used the Love to Celebrate You sentiment with that one. This I've done with some shades of pink. So I've used Mossy Meadow Stamping Right marker for that. And then I've used Melon Mambo for the flowers themselves. And then these butterflies are Rich Raspberry, and I've had a little bit of texture here. Sorry, that's my dog barking. Using the Artisan Textures stamp set. This one here, nice, clean, simple, stamped in Early Espresso, and then I've used the new Mango Melody for the butterflies. It's one of my favourites actually because it's just really sharp, and I like the contrast of the single monochrome colour and then the splash of mango. So that's one of my favourite ones. Another one with some pinks again. So this has got Melon Mambo, and this is Petal Pink, and a little bit of I think that's more Petal Pink there actually, but I might be wrong. And then finally this one here, which is using mainly the flower stamp in the base, as you can see. And I've stamped this in Highland Heather in the background, and then I've just picked out, as you can see, 5 of those flowers with Gorgeous Grape. And as I said before, it really does the work for you. I've used the Sentiment Friend that comes from the new Daisy Lane stamp set. That's this one here. And has that very nice friend and smile sentiment with it. and added the butterfly in Gorgeous Grape, and I've layered that onto a piece of Gorgeous Grape and then onto our note cards. So those are the cards, and then to go with them we did some bookmarks. Now bookmarks are always popular. They make a nice little gift for somebody, especially if you give books, but even if people read magazines or anything else like that, then it's a perfect product for that. So I'll show you them, and then I'll show you how I made the bookmark pieces themselves. So this one, I've used Melon Mambo. I've stamped the flowers at the base, added that stunning butterfly, and then added some ribbon at the top. This one here, I stamped the stalk, and again you can see I've used the marker pens. The marker pens for the stalk, and then I've used Gorgeous Grape there for the flowers and the buds, and the two little butterflies there in lovely lipstick. Then I have this one, again similar to the one, I think because it's the colours that I like. I'm very much an autumn colour girl, even though I prefer spring and summer in terms of weather. Colours I'm suited to are very much autumn. So I've used the Mango Melody for the flowers, and then literally just stamped on the front with the Early Espresso butterflies. Hi Monica, thank you for joining us. And that one's plain on the back. This one here, I've done basically a similar version. So I've done Coastal Cabana flowers, and I've used the pens. I've used So Saffron in the centre, and then Granny Apple Green around the edge, like that. And on this one, you can see I've stamped all over the back as well. Just gives a really nice finish. I could also round the corners if I wished. Lovely to see you, Monica. And then this one here, I've stamped with a combination of Petal Pink and the new Rococo Rose. This is Rococo Rose butterfly. I've used the word friend, and you can see the ribbon there. That's some retired ribbon I've used. And then I've stamped again all over the reverse. So it makes a really nice gift. Yeah, thank you, Lynn. I do like the stamping on the back. Just finishes it off. Obviously you could put a message on the back if you wish. So those are the bookmarks. I'm just going to show you how I created the physical bookmark, and then I'll do some stamping. So I'll just put those to one side. So the tool that I've used to making the bookmarks is this one. This is our new tag topper. It's quite difficult in the light for you to see that. What I like about this new tag topper is it obviously punches the top. It's called Delightful Tag Topper. Punches the hole, but it has 3 different sections for different widths. So it makes life a lot easier if you want different widths of bookmarks or tags. So the largest width is 2 inches or 5 centimetres. So I've cut this piece of card to 2 inches, and all I'm going to do is place it in that slot, push it right to the top, and then, as with all our punches, if you use the heel of your hand, that's the best amount of pressure, and then you can take that out and you've got the tag topper or the bookmark topper. So that's 2 inches, but what you can do is do the same thing with some narrower ones. So what I've done with this one, this is also 2 inches, but I've taken a smaller piece of card and used the topper on both sides to make a little label. This one is a 1 inch piece. I've done the same, and this is 1.5. So from one tag punch you can get lots of different looks. So just to show you, this is a 1 inch piece. Just going to pop that into there, put it right up to the top, press with the heel of my hand, okay, turn that round, do the same, and as long as you're putting that right to the top of the slot, you don't have to turn this punch over to see it, because the channels make it a lot easier to go all the way to the top. So it makes a really nice and quick little tag. And what you could do is pop some ribbon through there. If I just do that really quickly so that you can see. I'll just use this really pretty Coastal Cabana and Granny Apple green ribbon. So you could thread that through, having whichever side you wanted showing. Let's pop that through there, like that. And you could then tie that round your card, if you wished, with a sentiment stamped on there. Okay, or you could just literally fold some ribbon through there and run it around the back of a card. So lots of different things that you could do with that, all using the same punch. So for the bookmark itself, I just took a 2-inch piece of Whisper White card. I've used the standard card, but if you did it with the thick Whisper White, that would be even better. Yeah, sorry Lynn, it's a really nice punch. And I do like the fact you've got the different channels. Just makes it quicker because you don't have to worry about having it lined up, because the channel does the lining up for you. So for this particular one, let's move these out of the way. I'm going to stamp some of the little flowers across the bottom and the butterfly, very similar to what I did on the other ones. I hope the shadow's not too bad. So I'm going to take this flower, so I've already popped it onto a block, and this time I'm actually going to use Coastal Cabana. I think I did that on one of the other ones, but one of my favourite colours. So just light tapping, and as I say, the stamp does all the work for you. So I'm just literally going to stamp that, place it on. I'm going to turn the flowers round so they have them at slightly different angles, like so, and I'm just building that up. If you want to, you can add some layers without re-inking, and then you get that lighter background look, like so. And if you want it lighter again, you can obviously stamp that off. So as much as you want to do with the flowers for that, what I am going to do is add a Bermuda Bay flower. Now this is an old ink pad, so what I'm not sure is whether it will end up being darker or not. Yeah, a little bit. So I'm just going to add a few Bermuda Bay leaves. It's quite subtle, probably needs a bit of re-inking, that one, but it's just so pretty on its own, in its own right, that stamp. I'm going to leave that there because I am going to cover the back, but what I am going to do is use this butterfly. This is the sort of slightly sideways on butterfly, and I'm going to do this in Bermuda Bay. I'll just stamp it off so you can see it. Okay, really stunning colouring for you, and that's all done by the stamp itself. This is our new distinctive. If you can see that detail in there. And I'm going to add the word smile, I think, which I had here. Just going to take this butterfly off for the moment and just check I've got this roughly straight. That will do for my purposes. Pop that at the top. So really quick and simple bookmark, very effective, very stunning, and that's all just in one colour. So obviously what you can do is change the colours up and around and get a really different effect. I'm going to actually stamp the flowers on the back, but I'm just going to do them in lighter Coastal Cabana. So what I'm going to do is stamp the first one off and then just go over the back like so. Like that. Just light tapping. This one I'm going to take right the way up to the top. Sorry, that's my beautiful dog Cassie, who's a collie, has been waiting for the rain to stop so that we can go and play in the garden, and it has just about stopped, so now she's getting impatient. Okay, so that's my back. That is the front. As I say, I've stuck to one colour, but obviously you could use multiple colours. What I'm now going to do is just do the topper for the bookmark. So I'm going to use that Coastal Cabana ribbon that I used earlier just to show you. I'm going to cut a length of that. And I'm just going to feed that through here. So that's the Granny Apple green side. I'm going to have mine turned like that so that you can see the Coastal Cabana side. There we go. And then I'm just going to take a piece of baker's twine, just a short piece. Obviously, if you're at home, you don't have to cut this off first. You could be a little bit more frugal and tie it first and then cut it off. But for the ease of the camera, so rather than have a bulky knot at the top, I'm just going to tie that baker's twine around like that. Just put a little knot on it, like so. So what that does is it holds that nicely in place, and it holds it nice and flat. You haven't got any bulk, so if you want to pop it in the post, you're not spending too much money on posting it out. So with the spare bit of baker's twine, if you've left enough length and your fingers aren't too chunky like mine, then you could just tie a little bow and then shorten that if you wish. Made that one a bit too short. Let me just do that one again. Sorry, I know my hands are rather in the way. Let's hope that will do the job. There we go. A little bit better. I'll just show you what I was doing there. So just tied a little knot, then a little bow, just to make it look prettier. Pulling the ends. So I've got a nice small bow there. Like that. And then I'll just trim the edges. I need to sharpen my scissors, or take some of the sticky off from last class. That really is bad, isn't it? There we go. And there's my bookmark. Obviously you could layer quite a few ribbons on if you want. There's the front and there's the back, and all I need to do is pop that in a little plastic envelope or something, and that's good to go as a little present. So that's that one. And then to do a matching card, or a card to go with it, I've got this piece here which measures 3.5 inches by 4.5 inches. This is perfect for our note cards and envelopes. So this time I'm going to show you how I used this one here. So this is the blossom stalk, and what I'm going to do for that is use the pens. So if you want to do it in a single colour, you can just obviously use the inks, but I'm going to use the pens because I want the flowers in one colour, and I'm going to do the stalk in this case in espresso. So all of the pens, both our marker pens and our blends, have two different tips. This one is a writing tip, it's very narrow. Just show you that one there. Okay, so you wouldn't use that for colouring in of stamps because it's too narrow. You'd be there forever. And then it has a brush tip which is perfect for stamps. So all I'm going to do is brush this marker pen roughly where I want the flowers to be. Now there are some bits that could be stalk, but because I'm using a lighter colour, if I go over them to start with, I can go back over with the darker colour. It's up to you what you want to class as flower and what you want to class as stalk. Depends on how How much time you have, I think, is the answer. So I'm just going to add a little brown for this stalk here. There's a bit there, there. I think that is all I'm going to do. I think that will do the job. Okay, so I'm just going to huff on that with my breath, just to make sure there's plenty of moisture on the stamp. And I'm going to stamp that just there. So nice, steady pressure. Okay, and you can see that it's done all of this colouring for you. Now it's slightly green tint, and that's because I don't think I cleaned my stamp from last time. So apologies for that, but I do actually quite like that colour it's produced. So I'm now going to add, I think, this butterfly again, because I do really like this one, and we'll use, I'm actually going to use the pens again, but I will wipe this off this time. Might be a little bit more effective. So I'm going to do the main body and the main wings of the butterfly in blue, Coastal Cabana, and then I'm going to add a little bit of the espresso for the antenna and the body, and I might just put a little bit on the tips as well. And there. Let's see what that looks like. Again, a little bit of breath on there, and I'm going to put this one here, like so. There we go. So that's the colour I expected to see on my flowers had I cleaned my stamp beforehand. So I've done it with Coastal Cabana, and you can see I've done the tip, so it gets quite a nice effect, as opposed to, if I just bring this one in, the single colour. So it's entirely up to you how much time you've got to do the colouring and what effect you would like. I think I'm going to put some little butterflies on, so I've just got this little one here. Again, this is the one that actually matches the butterfly punch, so I could actually punch these out if I wished, but I'm just going to do actually some of these in the same set of colours. So early espresso for the body. Yes, I know. I know. There we go. Let's put one up here. There we go. And I'll just do another one while I'm there. So we do like things in odd numbers. It's pleasing to the eye. Otherwise, if they're even numbers, your brain tends to try and even up and balance them out. Let's put this one down here. There we go. So I've got my two butterflies, little ones, my larger one, and then my set of flowers there. I'm just going to add my smile sentiment, and I'm going to do that in early espresso. I did it in blue last time, so I will remember to clean that off. And you can use the pen, or you could use the ink pad. I'll just use the pen as I've got it to hand. And the nice thing about this, especially for people who may be beginner crafters, is that you don't tend to get ink, she says, all over the stamp, so you get a much nicer stamped appearance, less likely to have that coming over the flower, less likely to, you know, have the ring around it where you've over inked it. Okay, so there's my finished base part of the card. I'm just going to layer that up for you. I've chosen some Bermuda Bay because I want that deeper colour behind, and this is something that I do quite a lot of, so I keep layers of card ready for note cards and envelopes, especially for coffee and card. And if I'm punching out shapes, what I tend to do is punch them out of these layers, because all of these layers are going to be hidden Okay, so that's quite a waste of card. So all I do is punch out shapes if I need any. I don't literally go through them all the time, but if I need some shapes in a particular colour, I use the middles of those. They're perfect for that. So I'm just going to pop this one on here to start with. Got a little hair on there. So I'm just going to use my snail for that. Running out of space, as always. Always start with a big space and it gets smaller and smaller as I craft. I don't know if anybody else has that problem. Okay, so I'm going to pop that on there, and again, as usual, I just hover over that with my finger underneath so there's not too much contact. And then drop it down, and then I'm going to add that. It's more snail. I could use dimensionals if I wished, but I tend to keep these note cards and envelopes fairly flat to keep the cost of any postage down. There we go, and that's added onto there. And then finally I'm just going to fold that, use my bone folder, and I always use my bone folder on the back of the card. So if for any reason I've got any dirt or anything on there, this is stained, I promise you it's not dirt, but if there's any dirt or anything, it gets wiped onto the back of the card, not onto the front. Okay, so there I have my card and bookmark to go with it. So I hope you like those designs. I will show you the other ones that I made in case you missed them right at the beginning. So these are the bookmarks, all using the same set but using a different sentiment in these cases. That one, this one, and that one there. And then the cards, there's this one here. This is the new Pretty Peacock Blue, Highland Heather and Grape, Melon Mambo, and then lovely Mango Melody, and some more of the pinks there, Melon Mambo and Rich Raspberry. So I hope you like the cards that we made at Coffee and Card last week. I do apologise that you had to wait a couple of days to see this. I will share with you now what we're making this week. So let me move these out of the way. Let me turn my stamps over so I don't cover anything in ink. I'll probably get told off for not cleaning those straight away. Hey ho. Right, so let me show you what we're doing for this, what we've done this week, and I'll show you live next week. And that's using a stamp set which has been in the catalogue for 2 years at least. It's called Botanical Bliss, and I've had it for a little while but hardly ever used it. And then last week, out of the blue, 4 different people ordered this stamp set. So it was nothing that I did, so thank you for those orders. So whether everybody just happened to see it, maybe it was in a different place and a bit more visual in the new catalogue. That might be the case actually. I'm just going to have a look, see where it is. I wonder if it was just in a better place. Let's have a look. Page 31 of the catalogue if you have it. So it's here. So yes, maybe it is in a better position. I'm not quite sure. So this is the stamp set here at the bottom. I know it's in a little bit of shade here. It does have matching framelets that do these really pretty tops, and it's got some steps to show you how to make it into a cutout shape as opposed to a tag shape. Oh, hi Marie, lovely to see you. So yes, I don't know why that was suddenly very popular, unless somebody else was doing something on YouTube possibly, I'm not quite sure, but anyway, it's a very nice stamp set and a nice little mix of stamps you can do lots of different techniques with. So let me show you the cards that we've made. So I have this one here. So I've done some stamping in the round on the Stamparatus with this really pretty floral design. I've added the bird, and I just added his eye in with a point of a pen, and especially for the U that comes with the stamp set itself. This one here, I've taken the flowers, as you can see. I've coloured them with the blends and used a one of our Project Life Memories and More pens for just connecting the edges up. So it gives quite a nice effect. We did that, goodness me, at least a year, maybe 18 months ago. Very nice way to show it. Here again, stamping in the round, and this time with using the pens, I've used Poppy Parade and Garden Green. I've mounted that onto a Poppy Parade card. Okay. This one here is very similar to the one I had with the flowers, but I was itching to open up and stamp a new stamp set called Magnolia Lane Suite, and I just wanted to have a go with that, which I've done. So I've stamped that in Memento ink, black. Yes, darling, I'll be there in a minute. And added a little bit of Petal Pink blends pen and some green. I just wanted to get that stamped so I could see it. This one actually also comes from the Magnolia set, and I just wanted to try out this top and bottom image, which is what you can see there, and also the sentiment in the middle. Thanks not only for what you do, but for being someone so special. I like that one. Just added a few little gems there to finish it off. And this one here. So I've done a line of the birds. I didn't do that with the Stamparatus, I just manually stamped them. Added these leaves in the bottom that comes in the set, and the sentiment. Again, that's from Magnolia Lane. This one is from the stamp set that we're using properly. So I've done the technique with the pens straight onto the stamps. And again, I've just stamped that. I haven't actually used the Stamparatus for that, although that would be perfect for that. I've added the leaves at the top and the sentiment in the middle. Oh, there's a bird on the envelope ready for the first one. And then finally I've done, again, stamping in the round with that beautiful spray of flowers. And then I've added a thinking of you in the centre. And I've just mounted that onto grey granite. Just going to see actually if I can see the stamp set to hand to show you. Of course I can't see it. I'll put my hand on it straight away in a minute, you watch. But anyway, this is the Magnolia, Good Morning Magnolia stamp set. So I will show you that one, which will be featured shortly. So you can see these were the sentiments that I used. Thinking of You I've used, that one and this flower. And I've also used the thanks from there as well. So that's a really nice set. And it has all sorts of beautiful matching papers, and just a whole load of other things that go with it, so ribbon and all sorts. So I will be featuring that in the future, but for today, as I said, we were using this one here called Botanical Bliss. So I will leave those there, and you can join me Monday next week, and I will be showing you how we made these ones in different forms. And finally, just a reminder that we have our Let's Get Creative event coming up in July. If anybody hasn't tried this out, It's an all-day event that I run with the lovely Karen and the lovely Tara. Both of those are my team members, and we run an all-day event. And we were lucky enough actually for our event to be featured in the local, in the global magazine that Stampin' Up produce, telling people how we run it, so to encourage other people to join together and do the same. So we're really chuffed to be featured there. But the event is all day. You have 2 days to choose from. 27th of July, that's a Saturday, or the 28th of July, that's a Sunday. It costs £45, but you get a whole load of goodies on the day. You get more than £30 worth of Stampin' Up product in a goodie bag to take home. There's tea, coffee and cake all day. And you can also order at a discount just on the day as well. So if you fancy a day of crafting with 3 different tutors, so you get 3 different classes, then just give me a shout. Make a comment on the Facebook Live, or you can text me, or you can email me at jenny@jeminicrafts.co.uk. jeminicrafts.co.uk. I can just hear the rain coming down, so my poor dog is going to be very sad. So I'm just wrapping up and the rain's pouring. Hey ho, that's the way it goes. So thank you for joining me today. I will see you again next Monday if I don't see you in between. And this will be uploaded on my Facebook page, Jemini Crafts, and it will also be uploaded to YouTube on my YouTube video channel. That's what I should say. Anyway, thanks so much for joining us on this very gloomy day. It is good because I can't do any gardening or anything else like that, so it's quite good for crafting, but you do need a good bit of light, so I'm quite happy that I've got my lights that my children bought me a couple of Christmases ago, which is perfect because it gives me daylight crafting light. Anyway, thanks very much for joining us. I look forward to crafting with you again really soon. Thank you. Bye bye.